What's up, guys? Wanted to do a walk around of the Jurassic Park YJ. A lot's going on this thing. So we have a Recon Dana 44 JK front axle. I used the Artec kit, but hindsight, I will never use the Artec kit ever again. Track bar brackets in a horrible place. Coil perches were in a horrible place. I had to cut everything off, move them over, get everything to fit where it needs to fit. All the alignment stuff just doesn't work, and doesn't work for a TJ. And this is the same style and fitment, so it should have worked on this, but the coil perches are too narrow, and it's been a common problem over the internet. So I do not recommend this kit unless they revamp it. But have an RPM tie rod, an RPM drag link, a PSC steering box, Synergy tie rod. We did 456 or 488s. It's been a month or two since I put the axles underneath here. Gears, it's running 35-inch tires currently, but he may go to 37s if I convince him wise. A RPM track bar, a custom bracket onto the frame and gusseted and tied into some coil perches that are actually Artecs meant for a TJ, but again, YJ share a very similar style frame, so I got them to work with some trimming of the inner fender liner. New ball joints, axle shafts, they're 35 spline because they have the ARB 35 spline locker. 35 BFGs with red wheels. Moto built rocker armor. This has quite a bit of body rust that was underneath here and frame rust, so there's actually quite a few holes in everything, and that's my plan is this summer, once I get everything warmed up. I've had this Jeep at my house for probably close to 2 years now at this point, just because my buddy doesn't use it and I've been working on it. But we're going to get that patched, and the whole thing is going to get repainted and wrapped and everything like that, so we'll get it all cleaned up. But this is just kind of a work in progress to get there. So Moto built rocker armors for a TJ, and then put some sliders steps onto it. They're TJ 4-inch rear flares, Artex TJ coil correction for the frame, which works perfectly on this. Coil perches, Dana 44 in the rear, ARB locker, all new brakes. Actually ended up using a rock crawler TJ long arm kit because everything bolts up and lines up. It's just you don't have, the axle side for it. So that all worked out well once I got everything in there. Tons of flex actually to it. This one had some significant frame damage. There was holes underneath here, and it turns out the previous owner knew about it because I was sitting here grinding one day just to clean it up to weld for the cross member, and all of a sudden white powder started shooting everywhere. It was bondoed all the way over the frame, and once I got through the bondo, most of the frame was missing. So it's 1/4-inch gussets that actually weld into the centers, weld to the top, weld to the bottom, weld to each body mount, run all the way across. And then the rear is just one of those rough stuff fixes because it had a hole in the bottom of the frame. If you have a YJ or a TJ, you probably have it. An SYE kit for the 231, new exhaust, the triangulated suspension in the rear, 3-link in the front. What else we got? All the body mounts were failing, so I put the 1-inch spacer energy body mounts, so they look like it's just a regular body mount, but gives it a 1-inch body lift, and that's to clear with the new suspension. A 1-inch motor mount lift. The rear body mounts were gone entirely. You can see it is no longer in existence, so instead of patching all of this sheet metal for it to fail again in the future, I kind of just did this temporary fix where have this guy made out of 1/4, bent, actually 3/16, bent it, did those guys, some notches, and it goes into it. Has all the rest of the body mount, so this is just a supporting one. Made him a new spare tire delete piece. We're gonna do new tailgate because all of that is actually Bondo, which is sick. Did a new fuel tank, new skid plate, new sender unit. I'm gonna make him a rear bumper. Interior, we didn't touch too much because we're trying to find more of these actual green seats, which are really hard to get, just to actually match the Jurassic Park appearance. But it is stick shift, and one cool thing that I like is this is the best top that I got him 5 years ago, I want to say. Well, it sits out in the sun all day, every day. It has like a hieroglyphic style cracking going through it, and it's like the coolest thing. So I told them we're not replacing it until it fails. Looks super rad. We're gonna do a front bumper at some point. Give me a second here. Currently has the 4.0 engine. We are going to be swapping that out. It has like 220,000 miles. I just don't want to spend all his money at once, so we're doing this to where it drives nice. He can drive it, give it back to him for a little bit. Come spring, we'll fix up the body. After that, we'll do the engine and powertrain. ARB, I built a mount that comes off of the actual motor mount here. Did just some cheapo aux beam because it works just fine. For his switch panel. But that's about it for this guy. Hopefully in the next year, it's going to be awesome. I'm actually taking the engine out of my Gladiator, and we were thinking about putting the 3.6 and the 8-speed in this. Or I was going to put it in my Wagoneer. We'll see, whichever one comes first. But if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything you recommend, post it down below. I love seeing all the comments, and give me a thumbs up because it does like my YouTube channel, or does help my YouTube channel. All right, y'all, see you next video.